decided to do the 1744 disposable. Mr. Chairman, this is members of the subcommittee, this is a disposable metal container. This issue was brought to me by a local minor league baseball park, historic Calfee Park, home of the Pulaski Yankees. And they had a ABC official tell them that they could no longer serve beer after they open it to their patron in the original disposable container, the metal can. And the way the current law is, it's got to be plastic, otherwise disposable. And this will add the metal container, the original metal container, to that, so they can still serve it. And they have an email, I saw the email from 2002 that stated that they were allowed to serve it this way. I guess the rules have been interpreted differently since then.
Any questions of paper? Is anyone here to speak in favor of this bill? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Tony Rush asked you a question. How long have they been serving this way?
They bought the park, or brought the team there in 2002, and they've been serving it that way ever since. They also emailed other minor league baseball parks in the state, and they all were doing this. ABC, to their credit, did not try to shut them down or anything, but they did say, we're going to have to get some clarification on this, and that's the impetus behind my bill.
Are you aware of any problems with being served in metal containers?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm not.
And Travis, could you give us a nod? Are you aware of any problems? And you're more than welcome to come up here.
I'm not aware of any problems in Virginia. There has been, speaking as a baseball fan, there was an incident in the Major League playoffs where someone threw a can of beer on the field, and there was concern over whether or not a thrown can could injure someone. So that's the issue out there, but we don't have a position on the bill. I'm not aware of a problem in Virginia. So they
Where was that
just,
incident?
what's that?
Where was that incident?
No, it was north of the border. Those mean Canadians.
You just said north of the border.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion to report and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the subcommittee. Next is House Bill 1743. And what it does is allow an ABC license to serve beer and wine at historic nonprofit movie cinema houses. This was brought to me by the Lyric Theater in Blacksburg. If you kind of think about this, these are your old downtown movie theaters that communities have bought and tried to restore. This will give them another revenue stream to help keep those open. That's a very tough business model for these folks, and this was brought to me by them. So the information I've been given, and I'm not sure how accurate it is, I think it's close, is there's about 10 of these in the state.
Any questions to the paper?
Mr. Chairman, Delegate Rush, and I'm trying to look at it, is that a defined term, historic?
It is in the bill. Maria could help us with that. She helped me define. It's actually a cinema house.
Cinema house is defined at line 55 as a nonprofit establishment exempt from taxation that is open to the public in which motion pictures are shown for public entertainment.
And Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, I didn't mean to mislead the subcommittee. All of these are currently historic, but I don't think that is in the definition.
Maria, in Leesburg, Virginia, there's a cinema house that is no longer in operation, and now they have live bands, plays, other artistic events. It's a great venue, but they don't show motion pictures anymore. So does that count, or does that not count?
Mr. Chairman, I'd answer that that would come under perhaps Delegate Albo's performing arts venue bill. But it would not be considered here because this is limited to motion pictures.
And Mr. Chairman, members of the subcommittee, that, Maria and I, when I was trying to get this bill drafted, did talk about adding Cinema House to that performing arts thing. We didn't just think it quite fit. But there are provisions for, in the ABC licensing for establishments like that.
Delegate Alba?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Like, Rich, then we need to tighten this up, because remember, we were talking at that ABC subcommittee study meeting, how you assume everybody's gonna cheat? So, under this definition, couldn't you just take a warehouse, show a movie, and just serve alcohol without food, and call yourself a cinema house?
Mr. Chairman, Delegate Albo, you would have to be a nonprofit, so you would have to buy a warehouse with nonprofit money, establish yourself with the IRS as a nonprofit, and then do that. So that would be a lot of trouble for not a good reason.
Well, Mr. Chairman?
Delegate.
It's easy to, I mean, Fairfax Inc. is a nonprofit, and not Singleton makes $2 million a year.
Sure.
So, well, you kept on using the word historic, and so what I'm envisioning is like that place in Richmond, where they took the old movie theater and they renovated and made it look like, from the 1930s. Would it be possible for us to turn your bill into a historic cinema house by using some kind of definition that a cinema house has to be in a building, certain historic type building?
I mean, that was, and again, Mr. Chairman, wasn't trying to mislead the subcommittee when I used that term. But that would be all right with me. We'd have to look and see where these, about the time frame these buildings were built. Most of these are in downtown areas. You probably have, the one I'm familiar with there, they may have a kitchen in theirs. So they would actually be able to do that already.
Delegate Alba?
So I recall when we did the Norva across the street there, that was in a building that was, I'm trying to see if we can find that section. Oh, the National, right?
Yeah, the National.
Is Norva in a historic building too?
Mr. Chairman, we have the language in the performing arts venue for Norva and the National says, has been rehabilitated in accordance with historic preservation standards. On the conditions.
So I think maybe, it'd be hard for us to draft something and then find out it doesn't match with your guy.
And that's what I was going to suggest. If this is the direction that the subcommittee would like, I would prefer we do it the way we have it. But if this is the direction the subcommittee would like, I would like to maybe go by for the day and check with these groups and see how many of their movie cinema houses would be eligible under this criteria.
Delegate Alba, is that what you would like to see?
I prefer to tighten it up some, because I guarantee you that everybody's gonna form a nonprofit and start showing movies on VHS tape.
I will guarantee that not everyone will do that.
Mr. Chairman, not sure why, but in the definition of gift shops, in this particular section, we talk about those gift shops being in historic buildings, which seems strange and awkward. It must have been something that Albo did like 20 years ago.
Back when he was for these bills.
But Mr. Chairman, my point was there is a reference to historic, and we put some parameters around the gift shops. Not sure why we did that. Maybe that's not the right path, Nick, but happy to support you to go out of the day and then come back next week.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, if that's the prerogative of the committee, I'd be happy to gather some more information about and get the parameters down so that we can fit as many of these in there and avoid any future problems that Delegate Albo suggested we have.
Committee, if it's will of the committee, without objection, we'll by for the day, and Delegate Rush, if you'll try to tighten this up and get Maria to do legalese for you, and probably wouldn't hurt to come see one or two of us.
That'd be great.
Put you on the docket for next week.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is House Bill 2185. This is one of those perennial bills that I'm sure Delegate Albo will enjoy as well, that continues to add more mixed beverage licenses to that code section. I think we're up to 28 and 29 with mine too. These are two properties located in Montgomery County. The first one is the Meadows Country Club in Reiner. And the second one is going to be, it was an old elementary school, but it's going to be a mixed-use development. It's going to have about 15 to 17 apartments in the front, and then a farm-to-table restaurant in the back.
Okay, Maria, I ask you a question. On some of these carve-outs in here, we specify a location that it is a country club, or it is this, or it is that. And, I wonder if we just want to make the locations, I know the ABC board still has to approve each location, but do you feel comfortable with this, or do you think we ought to further describe them or identify them?
Mr. Chairman, when you look through all of them, I mean, we used to be, a lot of it was when we used population caps, so that's some of that, lots of, population elevations, and anymore in the last several years, it's just how, because potentially, not to be special legislation, it could be any establishment that was at those places. So I don't know that you need any further qualifier under this section, Mr. Chairman.
And each individual establishment has to get an ABC license anyway, it'll have scrutiny, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Any questions or hatred from the committee?
You said one's a country club, I understand why you want to carve out for that. The other one is an area off the highway that you're trying to develop like a commercial area that no one will come in because they can't, like no restaurant will come in or no hotel will come in because they can't get an ABC license, right?
No, this one is in an area that is an old elementary school. And the county has sold off the property, and the developer has purchased said property, and it's going to turn it into a housing and have a farm-to-table restaurant in the back.
So, here's a public policy decision. I mean, we have made a lot of these carve-outs for areas off the highway where the county wants to build a hotel or commercial area, and no restaurants come in, no hotels come in on the ABC license. Okay. Here, you are making a carve-out so a private entity can have a restaurant in violation of the rules that the people set up for themselves. So there's no longer like an economic development excuse to do it. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea or bad idea, but I'm just pointing out that this is a lot bigger policy decision than what we usually do on these things.
Maria, we'll ask you, we've got so many of these carve-outs on here. Is this typical or atypical of what we've done in the past?
I would say, Mr. Chairman, that Delegate Alvo correctly identified they're usually to bring an anchor store, a chain restaurant into a locality that's dry. So it really, most of these later enactments are for that purpose. That they're, like Exit 7 in Bristol, Virginia has, they've benefited. But this would be a different case.
Well, we don't have any further questions this time. Anyone else here to speak in favor of this? Mr. Lewis?
Mr. Chairman, members of the subcommittee, Tom Lewis, representing Virginia not go in and rehab an old building in an area unless they can get the full coverage license. In this case, you're talking about a locality that wants to rehab an old school and repurpose it. And frankly, it adds to the tax base of that location, that local government as well by approving this, because that restaurant will become a magnet and will certainly help, I think, to fill the population as they turn this into a residential facility as well. But rehabbing old buildings has been economic development. A lot of the rural areas have been, so we would support this.
Any questions, Mr. List? Is anyone else here to speak in favor of this bill?
And I would say, the developer of the property has already secured about $3 million or so from that last rehab commission to help support this. Otherwise, this building would be sitting here vacant. So it would be a pretty nice economic development project for the area.
Dr. Greasy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is, just going through the right bill here. So, Maria, is there any way to tell in the code section of all of those exemptions over the years, how many of those are in dry counties and how many of them are not?
They're all in dry.
They're all in dry.
They're all in dry counties.
Sorry, missed that one.
Okay, anyone in opposition?
Eddie, I left Virginia Assembly and Baptist, and that was why I stood up, was the exact reason Delegate Albo started relating. There's no specifics here, and our concern is that we're gonna continue to broaden some of these things. And I'm also curious, I'm assuming he's probably bringing this up, if it has some supervisors, maybe from the locality, maybe not. And I'm thinking, should there not be at least some public comment given in some of these cases like this in relation to this? Because I've had some pastors contact me from outlets and say, why aren't we hearing about these and why can't we do anything? And I said, well, they're doing a special carve out and they passed it at the legislature. So the counties are dry for a reason, and if it needs to be undry, they need to have a referendum. Thank you.
Any questions to the paper? What's the committee's pleasure?
Chairman, I think
Okay, motion to report, do I have a second? Okay, second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed?
No.
Okay. So, 3 to 3, looks like it's that.
There's some of you, so.
Okay, Delegate Allen.
Mr. Chairman, on a 3-3, if it died, then my no vote would be prevailing side because it died, is that correct?
That's right.
So I move, having voted on the prevailing side, to reconsider the vote by which the bill failed to pass. Failed to restore. Well, you're the boss. Y'all go there.
Make a long story short, if they want to bring it back up, we'll bring it back up.
No, I want to, that's my idea. Okay, so instead of doing it formally, I bet you if we struck the last one, where you have a private developer putting in a restaurant, this bill would pass very quickly. And if that's something you'd like me to do, I'd be happy to do it. And then you can see if you can stick it back in the Senate side if you sneak.
Sure.
Okay, so I would move, Mr. Chairman, to strike the, which one is a country club and which one is a?
The first one is the Meadows Country Club, the second one is the private developer.
Number
29.
line 53.
Right. So, can I speak in support of that, Mr. Chairman? Okay, so, as you know, for people who have been here, on here for more than 1 year, as soon as you start, give one person a break, and everybody else wants in, okay? The reason I don't like this is because then every single housing development is gonna wanna have a farm-to-table restaurant serving their place, okay? I'm sure it's a very worthy, thing, but I'm just not willing to go there. And to me, you know, keeping the ball in play is a win. And, you know, you might be able to get it in the Senate side and bring it back and get it done in conference. But, so I would suggest we take that out and hope we then pass this thing and then have Bill that he can still work on, so at least we're not throwing the baby out with that one.
Maria, you want to report the amendment to us?
Mr. Chairman, there'll be two amendments. On line 52, after December 31st, 2007, semicolon, would insert an and then the second amendment would be on line 53, after 661, you'd strike the remainder of line 53 and all of line 54 and insert a period.
Delegate Albo, would you like to make the amendment?
Make that amendment.
Second.
All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
And all the amended bills back before us? Okay. There's a motion, a second. All in favor of reporting the bill as amended, say aye. Any opposed?
Not opposed.
Okay, you got it.
I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, one opposed. 42. Okay, recommend reporting to the full committee. See, do we have, any other patrons on the screen here? Okay. Moved on to Will. Well, committee, we just got from Delegate Corey, the electric bill passed by for the day at this very late hour, without objection. So without objection, we'll pass it for the day. Delegate Wiltz, you're up, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. You have before you House Bill 2078, creates a new license specifically for a venue in the city of Harrisonburg.
Well, all right, Delegate, you want to tell us exactly what it is and where it is?
Mr. Chairman, if it's okay with you, I have the actual gentleman here that is interested in this, if you're allowed.
That'd be fine.